Guys, I want to talk today about dedication, specifically dedication in whatever area it is that you are looking to make your thing. So I've gotten a lot of messages over the last few weeks. I haven't done a lot of videos in a while, so I thought this would be a good one and a good topic to touch on. When I get messages from people, generally speaking, I find that often they are looking for a shortcut. They want a way, or they want to be told a way to get a thing that takes a lot of work faster. For example, how can I make faster progress on my bench press? How can I make faster progress with my writing, with my artwork, with my business, whatever? The first answer to the question is that almost always there are ways to achieve a thing faster, but that way is almost always just simply dedicating more time to it. More reps, more time, more investment, more sacrifice. So oftentimes also you will hear people talk about a thing that they're doing and they act as though they're pouring themselves into it. And they say, oh man, I've been doing this. I've been really busting my ass at it. And you're like, motherfucker, no, you haven't. I've seen what you've been busting your ass on. You've been busting your ass on, like, posting pictures of your food on Instagram and, like, dicking around and wasting a bunch of time with your fucking friends, posting memes and fucking arguing and all this shit that we always touch on. When you are trying to become dedicated to a thing, when you have decided or found that thing that you are passionate about, it has to be the reason that you get up in the morning. It has to be that thing that gives you the desire to go on living. And when it becomes that thing for you, you will dedicate your waking time to it with focus, with frenzy, and with fury, and you will begin sacrificing other things to it. Whatever that thing is, I don't care if you're a skateboarder, a martial artist, a painter, somebody trying to run their own business, or trying to be a good dad. Whatever it is that you're trying to be good at, you should always approach everything thinking that you are going to be the best at it and knowing that that's going to require sacrifice. This thing has to become like a monolith, this central pillar in your life that is the idol of your personal religious cult. And you have to sacrifice with blood to that thing on a day-to-day level. You got to wake up thinking about, dreaming about it. One of the ways that I think that what we decide to be passionate about, or we discover that we're passionate about, can really be honed in on and can really be focused on all these different levels, is to try to get that passion that we have to begin trickling into the deeper and deeper realms of our thought process, our consciousness, and so on, by using a couple of strategies. So once we have our thing in mind, whatever our thing is, like I said, whether you want to be a BMX rider or you want to work on choppers or you want to be the fucking best painter in the world, whatever it is, you have to begin experiencing it with all the senses. And I don't just mean all five senses. I mean the conceptual senses, the physical senses, all of these properties that you have available to you. If you are dedicated to a thing, you will wake up thinking about that thing. You will eat your food knowing that you are fueling your body in order to drive toward that thing and for no other reason. You will begin on your breaks and all these things, whatever, lunch breaks, whatever like the fucking human crowd does at their lunch breaks, sit around and talk about whatever TV show or whatever the hell it is. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be watching tutorial videos on your thing. You're going to be sketching your thing. You're going to be reading books about your thing, or you're going to be writing about it. You're going to be thinking about it all the time. There is no, like Henry Rollins said, there is no downtime. There's only lifetime. So once you're done with work, whatever the hustle and jive that you've got to do in order to pay for that thing, you got to look at your job even as a means to an end. It's a wrench to unscrew the bolt that has the thing that stands in the way of you and your thing. So once you're done with that hustle, whatever your job is that feeds you and allows you to do your thing, man, now it's go time on that thing. If you're a painter, you got to sit down and you got to dedicate that time and you got to put those reps in. How far do you think you're going to be able to get at your chosen thing when you do it when you want to? It's not about an emotion. A passion, a dedication to a thing, it's not an emotion. It's not a feeling that you have, although it permeates those areas too. What it is, it's a supreme act of the will. And in my opinion, it's one of the highest examples of what the human can attain in order to discover what his passion is, or to choose that passion and to sacrifice everything about himself to that thing and allow that passion to consume him so that it becomes who he is, so that he exemplifies that idea. So when people come to me and they say, oh, I've been really dedicated to my training, you know, the first question I ask them is, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to be dedicated to your craft or to your training or whatever? Does it mean that you like live it, fucking breathe it, think about it all the time, and that you don't have downtime? You only have time where you're thinking about that one thing. You know, I've seen 100 kids start up these little like startups on Instagram and stuff like that, and 6 months later they're fucking gone. Because any kind of dedication, any kind of passion that you want to make your own, it takes staying power. This is something that I think in our current like ADD world, people have lost maybe the most, is this concept of staying power. You can't even start to scratch the surface of a thing in 1 year. You know, I think about that. Like, I've been training jiu-jitsu for a little over a year, and I'm a white belt. I'm horrible, man. It's still barely even making sense to me, but I'm starting to grasp like these little tiny pieces of it. I'm beginning to maybe even make out what the puzzle is supposed to be about, but that's it. That's in over a year of going like 4 days a week, you know, minus a couple of injury months. But that 1 year is nothing. If you're considering a concept and you say, man, I'd have to dedicate 3 years of my life to that, and that doesn't excite you, find a new thing, because whatever it is, that ain't your thing. So when we talk about this idea of it dripping down, it has to begin to permeate all the levels of our consciousness. We got to read about it. We got to write about it. We got to draw our ideas down. We need to keep a journal of our progress. And we have to understand, guys, that the only way to become good at a thing or to be successful is to always be learning, applying that knowledge, improving yourself, and repeating over and over and over again until it sticks and until you are the best at that one thing. More stuff coming soon, guys.